We have the website for patch 7.5, Trail to the Heavens. And as someone playing the Trails franchise right now, this indeed puts a smile on my face. So let's go over the website, let's break it down, and glean any new information that we can from its depths. Hello, everybody. It's your boy Jmulls, and focus up, because we're going in.
It's nature's proclamation.
Bro, I've been neck deep in World of Warcraft Midnight Story, and it's so bad. I'm not even exaggerating, it makes Wook Lamont look like an S-tier character in comparison. I need this patch to be good, man. Anyways, rant aside, we have Final Fantasy XIV patch 7.5 Trail to the Heavens coming out on April 28th, like 2.5 weeks away from now, and we have the key art as was shown at the last live letter. Very Scion focused here. We have the twins, we have Graha, we have Y'shtola, the Warrior of Light, me, we have Kryl, and we also have Estinian. We also have what looks like either the moon or Aetheris itself. I think it looks more like Aetheris because that looks like clouds to me. It could be an artistic style, but I think it looks like clouds. And we have the big doodad of the story right now, the key front and center. Let's scroll down and find out more. News story, Trail to the Heavens Part 1. For those a little bit out of the loop how 0.5 patches are handled in Final Fantasy XIV, the story is broken up into 2 different chunks. So on release, we're not going to get all of it at once. We'll get the final couple of quests at a later date and time. But Trail to the Heavens Part 1, oh my god, I'm already looking at some of these pictures, man. We're definitely going to the moon. We kind of knew we're going to the moon because of the Loporits in the live letter, but still. Returned from the 11 racked lands of the Ninth, the Warrior of Light and the companions resume investigations into the key finally. Yet as they begin to unravel its mysteries, an ally's unsettling message threatens to draw their attention elsewhere. An ally's unsettling message. Interesting. Okay, I am glad we haven't just like immediately benched Shale. I have quite enjoyed her character in Dawntrail, particularly in the patches. So I'm glad we're still like using the resources we have with Solution 9 to our advantage here. And we can see in this picture, we have what looks like a glazed over version of the key or something. We have the Warrior of Light, we have Shale, Kryl, Graha, and we also have Y'shtola. But it does appear that we are going to be picking up the other Scions as was shown in the key art. We have Thancred here, we have Arianje, we have Graha Tia right over here, we have Y'shtola all the way in the corner, and we also have... Dude, what is this? Did they have to do Kryl like this? You can see a hood and like a forehead poking out over here next to like Alize. But we are back on the moon, people. We did kind of suspect this. Gotta wonder if this is to tie the story back into like the void with the 13th and something along those lines. We've had theories that the whole Great Withering is going to be a result of possibly losing out on Zodiac or also Hydaelyn, maybe some combination of the two. Maybe this ties into revealing that information, but also something I'm really looking forward to. We have Halmarut on the moon, the character, the Ascian we met at the end of patch 7.4. Got to imagine since we're also going to be on the moon, we're probably going to have some kind of grand meeting with Halmarut. I'm not fully convinced that she's going to be a long-term villain. I think she could be an antagonist for a bit. Really wouldn't surprise me if at some point we end up teaming up with her for some reason. Just a gut instinct that I have. And we also have 2 character renders here. One for Halmarut. Thank you for the thumbnail there. And we also have the squirrel from Ice Age. I mean, Calyx. I appreciate his attempt at aura farming, by the way, but like being in the squirrel puppet, like it's a hard one to pull off.
It's nature's proclamation.
Brother, this little screen grab always gets me. The Beatrix from ReZero Wannabe just looking down on everyone in the Echoes of Vana'diel raid. That's my secret power, can turn anything into a ReZero reference. But we are getting the final Alliance raid for the Echoes of Vana'diel series, Windust the Third Walk. Would love to tell you about this, but I have no knowledge of Final Fantasy XI. Though I will say, they've been knocking these visuals out of the park. Really kind of wish the zone design we got in modern Final Fantasy XIV kind of felt more like this, because this stuff is right up my alley. This little courtyard area is whatever. That city in the background over there, though, I'm interested in that place. Though even as someone who doesn't know Final Fantasy XI, I've enjoyed the characters in this Alliance Raid series. They've been fun. It's a nice little story to follow, even if it's not the most like in-depth thing of all time. The time has come for Sir Relja to realize his dream of a new king, one he believes worthy to rule Tyral, and perhaps even the whole of the star. What harrowing trials must the Warrior of Light overcome to put his ambitions to rest, and what will become of Elksal and Preesh? Right, that's the names. Should they prove victorious. I got a rather bad feeling the ending's gonna be kinda sad. But hey, Lion's raids have been pretty good in this expansion. Looking forward to this one. Now the big boy. The one that's arguably the biggest piece of content we're getting in the patch, but also easily the thing that's gonna be the most polarizing just based on its overall concept. The new limited job, Beastmaster. From tacticians of the former Republic of Landis to the Griffin breeders of Alamigo, skilled practitioners have long tamed wild beasts for mankind's gain. Myriad such traditions are kept alive across the land, and adherents of which have now arrived in the Black Shroud. Once again, further vindication for my point that Gridania is the best of the starter cities. Blue Mage loses stuff. Yeah? Ul'dah can have that one. The cool limited job, Beastmaster, Gridania. I'm looking forward to Beastmaster in all seriousness. It is a bit disappointing that I do play Hunter in World of Warcraft now, so like my main from that game, even though I play survival, can't even be a full job in Final Fantasy XIV. And we can argue about whether or not they should even have limited jobs conceptually. I mean, I like the idea of having like a side minigame that is able to incorporate mechanics that might not work baseline. I just don't know if the play was to take this entire class fantasy and make it one of those, though. Yeah, I get the limitations with like back-end code for Final Fantasy XIV. It still doesn't make that feel good for the player, but what they're doing with it sounds interesting. I mean, I'm pretty sure they got Ozma on call for like all of this. That's exciting to me. This looks like it could be more interesting than the Masked Carnival. We'll have to see how good these rewards actually are, how like actually challenging it all is and all that, or if it just ends up feeling hyper repetitive. I like the fact we get a Pokédex though. That's kind of cool. I wish it would stay on the image I selected for more than 2 seconds, but this is kind of nice. And I gotta imagine over time, so long as it's not like Blue Mage cadence, we'll get more and more beasts to be able to collect. I do kind of hope they let you like rename them though. That'd be a nice little like twist. It's one of my favorite elements of being a hunter in World of Warcraft, to be able to like personalize the pets that I've acquired. I just end up calling all my pets after like characters from Xenogear, Xenosaga, Xenoblade. Let me do that in this game as well.
It's nature's proclamation.
Welcome, boyos and ghouls, to the Clyteum, the new dungeon for patch 7.5, and I am really looking forward to this one. Like, yeah, it's going to be a Final Fantasy XIV dungeon. I'm expecting it to be a hallway, but it looks really cool, and we got a bunch of new information about it right here. So, the Clyteum, I'm still convinced that's how you actually pronounce it. This cavernous manufactory once helped sustain Garlemald's relentless territorial expansion. Hell yeah. Long since abandoned, its halls are now the front line of a terrifying incursion. Dude, these screen grabs look awesome. Massive fan of the tone going into the Clyteum. Maybe one day we'll be able to find it. I love the snowy backdrop here. I want more zones that kind of feel like this. That's not just because I'm a Nia fanboy, but still, I would love that. I love the fact we're gonna probably go down this like slide that reminds me of like the pneumatic tube system for like mail back in the day. We have a giant light show here, and I'm just saying this little arena here looks like a boss arena to me. That, or that's gonna be like the end result of a wall-to-wall pole right before a boss. It's like one of the two. I don't know, maybe the dungeon starts there. Decisions. But now we get a really important picture that just reveals more the more you look at it. First of all, this creature design, mwah, love it. Maybe it's a reference to another Final Fantasy game. It doesn't really stick out to me immediately, though I haven't played all the other Final Fantasy games, so that's not the thing I want to focus in on, though. Look behind him, right over there. I know the description said it's in Garlemald, but it appears to not be too far away from the Garlemald zone that we had in Endwalker, because that's just the Tower of Babel we used to get to the moon. But again, I love the aesthetic of what's going on here. Massively up my alley. I'm eating this up like Easter candy or something. And now, arguably, the most interesting addition to the patch when it comes to story for me, that is the trial called The Unmaking, starring Enuo, who I believe comes from Final Fantasy V. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think I am, though. And we didn't get to see too much during the live letter, but here we can see more of the background where he's at. Wielding the boundless power of the void, they rise from depths unfathomable. The dread sovereign Enuo. Okay, first of all, Pause. Second of all, let's inspect this. He's on like a bed of ivy or something, like void-infused purple ivy. We have this like drape over here in the background as well, which looks like a giant portal. We have some like sigils here as well as like to his right. Now, does he look like a Draenei from World of Warcraft to me? Yes, but I still think this guy is going to be arguably way more important than just the Doom Train was in 7.4. This guy feels like he is meant to kind of transition us into the general feel of 8.0. I think they're going to use this trial as a big like transitionary event. Now watch it just be kind of fill. It's like, yeah, there's some guy that spawned in. We got to go beat him. We need a trial for this patch, man. I don't know. Which one would be funnier? Still, I feel as if this fight's going to be pretty dang important. I know that sounds like it's not some great revelation or something, but quite often some trials can just kind of feel as if they're just there to give us an excuse for a fight. I'll be interested to see what they're doing with Annuo over here, though. Also, speaking of trials, we have Shinryu's domain Unreal. The foe commander craves a tale of fierce battle raging above the clouds. Your clash with the mighty Shinryu leads to only two possible fates: your opponent's demise or your bloody remains strewn across the heavens. I miss Xenos, man. I really do.
It's nature's proclamation.
And then we have the summation of the things new to patch 7.5. We have new MSQ, the Alliance Raid, Limited Job Beastmaster, the Clyteum Dungeon, the Unmaking Trial, the Unreal Trial, Shinryu's Domain Unreal, a new Crystalline Conflict stage, a new Ultimate Raid. That should be an exciting race to follow, if we knew what it was. And also a rather glaring omission here, the Occult Crescent North Horn. Yeah, we're getting another installment for the Occult Crescent. And the version of Fork Tower in the North Horn will also have an easier mode. Relic weapon stuff, custom delivery, Aunt T's tacos. Had to get one last taco reference in there. Not too mad at that. One of the things I'm looking forward to the most, inconceivably further Hildebrand adventures. I hope to God he makes a return in 8.x. Dawntrail Allied Society capstone, ocean fishing. We're going to a new planet for cosmic exploration, Oxessia. That's totally how you pronounce that. Gold saucer updates, new mounts, minions, and emotes, additional duty support, housing update, and more, because don't forget we still have another live letter where they will go into even more detail and show actually in-game, well, gameplay for quite a bit of this. Heavy on this last bit here, by the way. Some content will be made available via patch updates at a later date. Yeah, we are not getting all of this day one, by the way. It's gonna be spread out quite a bit, including the main story, because it's a 0.5 patch. This is not new to Dawntrail. It just follows standard procedure, especially with the way that patches are constructed now, with Dawntrail going back to the old cadence where 0.3 is the big finale for the expansion, and then 0.4 and 0.5 segue us into the next expansion.
It's nature's proclamation.
And here's where you come in. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, your opinions on how patch 7.5 is shaping up. And also, what do you want to see out of the future for Final Fantasy XIV? It's gonna be a pretty big month with FanFest and the release of 7.5 and a live letter. Dang, there is a lot here. So if you want to stay tuned for future coverage, you should leave a like and subscribe. It really helps channel out and helps support future content. And if you just can't wait for more, I reacted to some of your theories for the future of Final Fantasy XIV, and you guys have some absolutely crazy ones, but you might be on the money. Want to find out more? Check out this video right here. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Until we meet again!